Okay, now we need to take this primary gear off. And so we need a special jam tool from Motion Pro that's going to go in here. And this bolt is a left-handed thread, which means we're going to rotate it clockwise to take it off. And so this is 110 foot-pounds. So you're either going to use a big 24 millimeter breaker bar or use a nice big 1/2 inch impact. But make sure that this is locked in there so you don't rotate it. And that way, again, left-handed, you're going to go clockwise to take that nut off. Okay, now that I have this primary gear off, what we got to do is we got to take this distance sleeve out, this seal, and then there's an O-ring behind it. So getting some needle nose pliers in on that distance sleeve and kind of working that out. It's a little tight. And then having a good seal puller, being careful not to score the race, but getting that in here and pulling the seal out. All right, now that we've got everything removed, the clutch, the primary gear, everything's removed, the seal's removed, the distance sleeve's removed, and the O-ring's removed. Now, this is the kit that we can buy from South Bay Moto. This is an OEM seal, an OEM distance sleeve, and this is our oversized O-ring that's going to prevent it from leaking again. So the O-ring's going to go on first. The distance sleeve is unidirectional. If you look at it, one side has a taper on it. The taper goes down towards the motor. So I'm going to do the O-ring. I'm going to press the seal. Then I'm going to find the taper on the distance sleeve, and that's going to go into the seal and squish the O-ring. Okay, now that the seal and distance sleeve and oversized O-ring are in, we're going to install the primary gear. Very important on the primary gear is there is a dot marked right there, and that has to line up with the dot on the counterbalance gear. And then there's obviously a keyway. So I'm going to line these up on the keyway, and we're going to work that into place so that those two dots line up. And then this is a left-handed nut. So what that means is when I go to screw it on, it's going to turn counterclockwise to tighten. I'm going to use a little bit of blue Loctite, and I'm going to tighten it to the torque spec called out in the service manual. All right, now that the primary gear is on and it's torqued to 100 foot-pounds, we're ready to put the clutch in and then just put the rest of the side of the motor back on, which I'm not going to cover in this install. That's all fairly straightforward. But I did want to show, this is something that goes out quite a bit in KTMs. There's 6 rubber dampers in here. And so if I go inside here, see that play? That's too much play. So we're going to remove this inner hub. We're going to replace all 6 of those rubber dampers. The KTM ones are pretty flimsy, and sometimes they come out in 2 pieces. We like to replace them with the Recluse ones. They're a little bit more heavy duty and they last longer. So I'm going to go ahead and rebuild this inner hub. I'm going to put the clutch on. I'm going to put everything back together. We're going to put oil in it, and then we're going to put 800 milliliters of oil in it. We're going to run it for 4 to 5 to 6 hours. We're going to drain the oil, see how much comes out. I'm hoping to get 780 or 790 out. That means we fixed the problem.